Hello everybody and welcome. I'm going to do a quick introduction. I'm Jeremiah Wagner and I have a small company with my wife called Sharks with Lasers. Our company specializes in designing and engraving, primarily using diode and fiber laser, but our designs also work with CO2 as well. I'm going to be doing a group of videos covering the basics of Gimp editing. This will be the first video in a group of videos, probably 5 or so. So if this video is helpful, please consider hitting like and subscribe and checking out our Patreon as well.
Okay, so let's go ahead and open up our first image. Right here, I just have a basic AI image that I created using Bing. Very basic, nothing special going on here. Go ahead and right click on it, and I'm just going to go to open with Gimp, and we can minimize this. Alright, so now that we have it loaded, the first thing I'm going to do, since all of these images that we're going to be editing eventually will be for laser engraving, we can immediately simply go to image mode and choose a grayscale. Now that we have the image set for grayscale, I'm going to go over a couple different keybinds that are in shortcuts that are really useful. Alright, probably the most important shortcut that we're going to look at is the zoom shortcut, which you do by holding the left control down and using your middle mouse wheel and scrolling it up and down. This will allow you to zoom in and out very easily. Much better than going over here and using the zoom tool and trying to zoom in plus or minus. This is horrible. You do not want to do that. You don't need to select that in any way. So again, just hold down the left control and zoom in and out. You're going to always want to zoom this way. The next one is your pan. You pan the image simply by holding down the middle mouse wheel and dragging left and right, up and down, whatever direction you need to. Those are probably your two most very important shortcuts. Now, if we look at this image, if we zoom in, take a look at everything, this bird looks ridiculous. This is AI. Look at this. Look how bad this is. This person's backwards on this horse. This, I don't even know. Maybe the horse got hit already, but man, that's a healthy horse to be able to just walk around like that. Either way, there's all kinds of weird crap in here, along with image pixelization damage. There's just pixel damage everywhere. Okay, so in this design right here, in this image that we're looking at, the only thing that I really like is this mammoth. I really like the mammoth, and I want to use him in something else. But the rest of this is just garbage, right? So before I even work on editing the mammoth to make it look better or anything like that, I'm simply going to go to the paintbrush tool, and yep, I'm actually just literally using the generic paintbrush tool. I'm going to bring the size down some. We don't want to have very much force. Keep the hardness all the way up. So what I'm going to do is come over here, and this is your primary color and this is your secondary color. For my primary color, I'm going to just have it be black, which it already is, so I'm not even going to bother changing anything. And I want to show you something. Okay, so we'll come up here and we're going to look at fuzzy select tool just to show you an example. This is what's used to try to select certain parts of the image so that you can delete background and things like that. These tools that are like this fuzzy tool selection they're all based on threshold. Even the AI tools that do this, it's all based on threshold. What that means is at some point, there's going to be a cutoff where it starts to go into the actual part of the image that you want. Just like this just did right there. Turn it down a little bit. All of a sudden it's only selecting this. This is horrible. You don't want to use these tools. I'm telling you, unfortunately, the only way to be able to take things out of an image and have a nice clean background is to do it by hand. There are some different tricks that you can use to help you do this, and I'll go over them, but you're going to need to do it by hand in the end, just simply by painting around it using a black paintbrush, right? So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to colors, I'm going to go to exposure, and I'm going to turn up the black level a little bit just to try to get the edge around the mammoth to show up darker, which will make it easier to color in around it to remove everything else. But I can see with this, it's not really going to be helpful with this image. So I'm going to turn it up slightly, but it's not worth changing how the mammoth is to try to get a little bit more of an edge to clean off. So what we're going to do is I'll just put it at black level up to. Sometimes with certain designs it has a little bit of an edge and you can turn the black level up a little bit and you'll be able to easily get an edge to clear everything around it. But in this case, it's not going to work that great. So we're just going to put it at 2. And then we're just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to select the paintbrush tool. I have black selected. Now once you select the paintbrush tool, here's your tool options, right? So it might be locked over here, sometimes I unlock it, but either way, I'm going to have the force down to like 5 or 6, and the hardness turned way up. This will allow for soft edges when I'm painting. So if I have a little bit of mistake, you won't notice it. But it also means that you have to color around it a little bit more. So I can see we're going to want a little bit more force. We'll go ahead and move that up to 10. Yep, and that looks like it's about right. Up a slight bit more. What I'm doing is I'm just getting a feel for where it's going to be a good size paintbrush, good size force to start working with this. And I feel like we've found and good zoom amount. Once you're in a comfortable spot where you can see everything good and your paintbrush tool is working like this, we can simply come all the way around it. I'm literally going to color in black going all the way around this image. Again, by keeping your force down, you're able to paint and you have a little bit of a lenience on before you'll start damaging the actual part of the image that you want. So every once in a while, you're going to want to just hold down your left control and zoom out. And take a look at everything to make sure there's nothing weird that you accidentally cut into with the paintbrush tool while you're working. Everything's looking good. We'll go ahead and zoom right back in to where we were and just continue around. You can see right here, there's already black, so this is really nice because we don't even have to get near touching anything here. Again, if you're wanting to have quality images, that don't just look like generic garbage AI, you don't use AI images by themselves. You need to edit what you have, you need to take out the things that you want, put in different things, clean everything up. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. If you simply take this AI image, yes, it will engrave. That you'll be able to engrave this. It might not even look horrible because of the has a nice contrast to it and everything, but there's all kinds of issues with it. Like I show you here, you can see right in here, you can see the pixel damage. It's all over in here, along with the shading not being perfect, although it's not bad. Okay, I'm going to stop right here for a second because I want to go over another shortcut key combo that I use all the time that's important, super important. And that is Control Y and Control Z. So Control Z will undo your last move that you made, right? The last painting stroke or whatever you did, right? And Control Y will redo it. So this is important because a lot of times you will be changing the darkness and the lightness of something, or you'll be wanting to see the difference between the two. And if you're able to hit Control Z and Control Y back and forth really quickly, you can see the difference between when it's done and when it's, you know, you can see the difference between the edit and decide which version is better. I'll show you in more detail in a little bit. Okay, so there we go. We removed everything besides the mammoth. So now we could take this mammoth and we'll be able to add it into another design. Oh, I'm going to cover one more thing. So we're also going to look at denoise. So we're going to set it for 2. So when you use any type of noise reduction or denoise, the benefit is that it smoothes out a lot of pixel deformation, right? But the bad news is that you can unintentionally blur the image, because that's literally basically what denoising does. It's basically like a very soft blur. So it's useful, but it also can impact the image in negative ways as well. So I would recommend using a very soft noise, denoise, until you get used to it and you know what about how much denoise to use. I would recommend just using a very slight amount of denoise. We're just going to call it here for this one. And in the next video, I'll show you how to outline this and remove it and add it into another image. Thank you for watching.